In the grand theater of human ambition, the stories of the world's richest people shine like constellations, guiding millions of dreamers toward their own horizons. Each of these individuals, whether it is Elon Musk launching rockets into space, Warren Buffett calmly navigating the tides of finance, or Oprah Winfrey rising from poverty to global influence, shares not only immense wealth, but also an invisible thread of philosophy that binds their lives together, their life mantras. These mantras are not merely quotes or slogans. They are distilled experiences, the wisdom born of failure, persistence, and self-belief. The journey of a rich person, when stripped of glamour, often reveals a relentless rhythm of falling and rising again, of learning faster than others, and of holding a vision so stubbornly that the world eventually bends to it. Elon Musk's mantra, for instance, is anchored in the idea that one must work like hell and push beyond the comfort zone until excellence becomes second nature. His long nights at Tesla and SpaceX are proof that wealth follows those who refuse to rest while their dreams remain incomplete. Similarly, Jeff Bezos has often said that it's not an experiment if you know it's going to work. This single line captures his philosophy of calculated risk and innovation, of daring to fail publicly in order to succeed monumentally. The world's richest minds have never been afraid of looking foolish. Their wealth was born from their willingness to be misunderstood for long periods of time. Oprah's journey adds emotional depth to this principle. Her mantra, "Turn your wounds into wisdom," reflects the transformation of pain into purpose, teaching that the real gold in life lies not in money, but in resilience. For her, every rejection and humiliation became a brick in the foundation of her empire. Likewise, Warren Buffett lives by the discipline of patience. His calm voice often reminds the world that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Buffett's success is less about financial tricks and more about emotional intelligence, the ability to wait while others rush. And when we look further back in time to legends like Andrew Carnegie or John D. Rockefeller, we see the same pattern in a different era. Carnegie's mantra, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced," reveals the moral evolution of wealth, that true success includes giving back. Rockefeller, often called the first billionaire, showed that efficiency and focus could transform entire industries, but later devoted his energy to philanthropy, proving that the final chapter of richness is generosity. The stories of these individuals form a tapestry of mindsets, a collection of mantras that reveal the deeper truth about wealth. It is not luck. It is not merely talent. It is the unshakable faith in one's own mission, carried forward through failure, mockery, and loneliness. Whether in boardrooms, garages, or television studios, the richest people on earth all began with a vision too big for their circumstances. Their mantras served as the inner compass that kept them steady when the storms of doubt raged around them. And through those mantras, they show the rest of humanity that the path to greatness is not reserved for a chosen few, but for anyone willing to live by conviction, discipline, and courage. When we speak about the life mantras of the rich and successful, one name that always commands attention is Steve Jobs. His mantra, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," became not just a slogan, but a revolution in how people approached creativity and innovation. Jobs believed that curiosity was the heartbeat of genius. From a small garage in Los Altos, California, he and Steve Wozniak built the foundation of Apple, not because they wanted to be rich, but because they were obsessed with creating something meaningful. Jobs often said that people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. This thought process was his North Star. It guided him through the moments when Apple ousted him from his own company and when failure seemed inevitable. His comeback years later proved the power of emotional resilience combined with creative obsession. He saw products not as machines, but as pieces of art, blending technology with humanity. His mantra teaches that the true wealth of life lies in passion and purpose. Money follows excellence, not the other way around. Similarly, Henry Ford's guiding principle, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, shaped an industrial era. Ford was not born into privilege, yet he changed the way the world moved. His mantra reveals the truth that mindset determines destiny. Ford faced countless failures before the Model T revolutionized transportation, but his belief in efficiency, innovation, and affordability brought the automobile to ordinary families. His assembly line wasn't just a mechanical process, it was a philosophy of multiplying value through consistency. To Ford, success was built not on speed, but on the ability to improve continuously. His story resonates with modern entrepreneurs who understand that wealth is not created overnight. It is engineered patiently through trial, error, and relentless belief. In contrast, Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, built his empire with the spirit of adventure. His mantra, "Screw it, let's do it," reflects a willingness to take action before fear can paralyze ambition. Branson's career spans airlines, music, and even space travel. Yet what unites his diverse ventures is his belief that opportunity favors those who move fast and learn along the way. He turned his dyslexia, once seen as a disadvantage, into a creative advantage, using simplicity and bold communication as his tools. His life teaches that wealth often grows from momentum, from saying yes when others hesitate. Similarly, Mark Zuckerberg's mantra, "Move fast and break things," captured the essence of the digital age. It wasn't about chaos, but about speed of learning. He built Facebook in a dorm room, powered not by money, but by a vision to connect people. His journey embodies the principle that perfection is the enemy of progress. In a world that changes daily, agility becomes the new intelligence. Even when criticism surrounded him, he adapted, showing that long-term wealth is sustained not by stubbornness, but by evolution. Another key figure, Bill Gates, shows a different kind of discipline. His guiding mantra, "Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning," reflects a deep humility, often hidden behind his success. Gates' empire grew because he listened, improved, and anticipated human needs before people even realized them. His life is a testament that learning never ends, no matter how rich or powerful one becomes. Together, these visionaries reveal that the real currency of success is mindset. Their mantras are not magical phrases. They are blueprints for action. They teach that the road to wealth is not paved with shortcuts, but with daring, self-awareness, and a willingness to grow. Each of them, from Jobs' creative hunger to Ford's mental toughness, from Branson's boldness to Gates' curiosity, turned their mantra into a daily habit, a living philosophy that reshaped industries and inspired generations. When it comes to the philosophies of financial mastery, few names carry the gravity of Warren Buffett and his lifelong partner in wisdom, Charlie Munger. Their mantras are not flashy or poetic, but quietly profound, anchored in logic, discipline, and patience. Buffett often says, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." This single line, simple yet surgical, has become the foundation of intelligent investing. His mantra isn't just about buying and selling stocks, it's about mastering human emotion. Buffett's journey reveals that true wealth grows in silence, not in the frenzy of the market. He treats money like a living organism, something that thrives under calm, consistent care. Behind his modest lifestyle lies the secret that happiness and wealth are not twins. His mantra teaches that financial freedom is born from independence of thought, not from chasing trends. He reads voraciously, analyzes deeply, and acts rarely. Every move he makes is deliberate, built on years of observation. Charlie Munger complements this philosophy perfectly with his mantra, "The big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting." Munger's genius lies in simplicity. He believes that intelligence means avoiding stupidity rather than trying to be brilliant every day. His worldview, known as worldly wisdom, blends ideas from psychology, economics, and history into one powerful framework for decision-making. For Munger, the mind is an investment tool. The richer your knowledge, the richer your outcomes. His dry humor hides the truth that the greatest fortunes come not from complexity, but from clarity. Together, Buffett and Munger built Berkshire Hathaway into a symbol of timeless wealth, a company that values consistency over chaos. Their friendship itself is a mantra. Surround yourself with people who make you think better. Buffett once said, "It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction." In a world that glorifies speed, these men built their empire on slowness, on deliberate thinking, on saying no far more often than yes. Their teachings reveal that wealth is not a sprint, it's a marathon where endurance and intellect outlast luck and impulse. But beyond money, their mantras reach into the soul of human behavior. They show that success is not about having more, it's about needing less, about mastering the self before mastering the market. Buffett's discipline in living frugally, despite his billions, reflects a rare detachment from greed. He famously still lives in the same house he bought decades ago, drives himself to work, and finds joy in routine. His mantra is not merely a financial rule, it's a lifestyle. He reminds the world that peace of mind is the ultimate luxury. In an era where everyone wants quick success, Buffett and Munger's calm wisdom feels almost rebellious. They remind us that time is the friend of the intelligent and the enemy of the impatient. The rich are not those who make the most noise, but those who understand the silence between opportunities. Every investor, entrepreneur, or dreamer can find truth in their mantras. They teach that money multiplies where wisdom resides and dies where ego reigns. They teach that real wealth is emotional stability disguised as financial success. And, most importantly, they remind us that the richest people are those who have mastered the art of waiting for the right idea, the right partner, the right moment, and the right reason. Among the greatest examples of turning adversity into abundance stands Oprah Winfrey, a woman whose journey from rural poverty to international fame is a masterclass in resilience and emotional intelligence. Her mantra, "Turn your wounds into wisdom," is more than a poetic phrase. It's a survival strategy. Born into hardship, facing discrimination, abuse, and countless rejections, Oprah used every scar as a stepping stone. Her life story is proof that success is not the absence of pain, but the transformation of it. She channeled her suffering into empathy, her setbacks into strength, and her failures into lessons. Through her television career, she didn't just entertain, she elevated the human spirit. Oprah believes that every person has a calling, a deeper purpose that gives meaning to life. She often says, "You don't become what you want. You become what you believe." This simple but powerful belief shaped her entire empire. By believing in her worth long before others did, she redefined what success looks like for women, especially for women of color. Oprah's mantra teaches that the richest people are not those with the most money, but those who live in alignment with their truth. Her success blossomed from self-awareness, not self-promotion. She understood that wealth without emotional clarity is emptiness disguised as achievement. In that same spirit, another figure who turned pain into power is J.K. Rowling. Before the success of Harry Potter, Rowling was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to find meaning after personal loss and rejection. Her mantra, rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life, captures the profound truth that failure is not an end, but a beginning. Every no she received from publishers became a test of perseverance. When the world doubted her, she doubled down on her imagination. The Boy Who Lived gave millions of readers a reason to dream, but behind him stood a woman who refused to give up on hers. Rowling's story shows that wealth can begin in the mind, long before it arrives in the bank. The richest people, she teaches, are those who never stop creating even when no one is watching. Similarly, Howard Schultz, the visionary behind Starbucks, came from a humble background in Brooklyn. His mantra, dream more than others think practical, guided him through the creation of a global brand that redefined the coffee experience. Schultz believed in connection and building community one cup at a time. His wealth was not born from caffeine, but from culture. He turned a daily habit into a ritual of belonging. He once said that people don't just buy coffee, they buy comfort, familiarity, and identity. His story reminds us that the most powerful mantras are rooted in service. When you create something that improves lives, money becomes a byproduct of meaning. Another shining example is Sarah Blackley, the founder of Spanx, who began with just $5,000 in savings and an idea that most people laughed at. Her mantra, "Don't be intimidated by what you don't know," became the foundation of her billion-dollar brand. With no experience in fashion, business, or manufacturing, she learned everything from scratch. Her success proves that curiosity and courage can outshine credentials. Blackley's story embodies the modern entrepreneur spirit, the ability to see opportunity where others see limitation. Her mantra teaches that ignorance can be an advantage if it's coupled with determination. In all these stories, a single thread weaves through every triumph: the belief that every obstacle conceals a lesson, every failure hides a seed of growth. These self-made individuals teach us that wealth is a reflection of inner strength, not outer circumstance. They remind us that true success doesn't just build empires, it builds character. The richest people are not defined by the size of their bank accounts, but by the size of their belief in themselves, their dreams, and their capacity to rise again. In the era of technology and disruption, few figures embody the spirit of relentless innovation like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Their mantras are forged in the crucible of risk, vision, and an unshakable belief in possibility. Elon Musk's famous philosophy, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor," captures the heart of his audacious career. Musk's journey from South Africa to Silicon Valley was driven not by comfort, but by conviction. He built companies not for quick profit, but to solve problems that most people considered impossible, revolutionizing transportation, energy, and even space travel. When SpaceX rockets exploded, when Tesla faced bankruptcy, and when critics mocked his dreams of Mars, Musk refused to yield. His mantra teaches that courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Every time the world said no, he answered with persistence. His success stems from a long-term vision, a willingness to fail publicly, and a belief that the future belongs to those who dare to build it. Musk's life proves that wealth follows those who focus on purpose first and profit second. Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, built his empire on a different but equally powerful mantra: "It's always day one." This phrase, etched into Amazon's culture, reminds him and his employees that complacency is the enemy of growth. Bezos started Amazon in a small garage with an idea to sell books online, but his deeper vision was to create a customer-obsessed company that constantly reinvented itself. "If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to double your inventiveness," he once said, expressing his belief that innovation is born from continuous experimentation. Bezos understood that the richest people are not those who avoid failure, but those who learn fastest from it. He embraced criticism as a compass rather than a curse. Like Musk, his success reveals that fortune rewards endurance more than brilliance. These tech titans redefined what it means to take risks. They didn't wait for perfect plans. They moved, iterated, and evolved. Their mantras remind us that the real danger lies not in failing, but in never daring at all. Another modern visionary, Larry Page, co-founder of Google, operates under a similar philosophy: always deliver more than expected. This principle drove him to build tools that fundamentally changed how the world accesses information. Page's mantra is rooted in abundance, an idea that technology can scale good ideas infinitely. His story demonstrates that wealth is a natural consequence of improving life at scale. Similarly, Mark Cuban, investor and entrepreneur, believes that work like there is someone working 24 hours a day to take it all away from you. His drive and competitive mindset transformed him from a bartender into a billionaire. Cuban's mantra highlights the importance of hustle, the understanding that comfort is the death of progress. These modern entrepreneurs share an obsession with improvement, not applause. Their stories show that wealth today belongs to those who adapt faster than change itself. They didn't just build companies, they built cultures that thrive on curiosity and experimentation. Their mantras are blueprints for the digital age, where speed, resilience, and creativity outweigh tradition. In their world, risk is not recklessness, but research in motion. Their wealth, measured in billions, is only the byproduct of an inner law they all live by: progress over perfection, courage over caution, and purpose over profit. They prove that in the 21st century, the richest people are not those who predict the future. They are the ones who build it with their own hands, fueled by belief so powerful that even failure becomes a stepping stone. Long before Silicon Valley redefined innovation, there existed a generation of dreamers who shaped the foundation of modern capitalism. Men like John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, and Henry Ford carved their mantras into the very bones of industry. Their philosophies, born in a world of iron, oil, and steel, remain timeless reminders that vision and discipline transcend eras. John D. Rockefeller, often called the first billionaire, lived by the mantra, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." This belief shaped his empire. He saw business not as a game of luck, but as a science of precision. In his youth, Rockefeller was known for his meticulous record-keeping and calm temperament. He understood that control over one's emotions was as essential as control over capital. His wealth grew because he saw opportunities others missed and maintained order where others saw chaos. But what truly elevated Rockefeller was his understanding of stewardship, his belief that wealth carries a moral responsibility. Late in life, he gave away more than half of his fortune, funding universities, medical research, and public health initiatives. His mantra became a lesson in balance: build boldly, but give wisely. Similarly, Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate, lived by a code that defined both his ambition and his legacy. His mantra, "The man who dies rich, dies disgraced," reflected a deep conviction that wealth should serve humanity. Carnegie rose from the son of a poor Scottish weaver to one of the wealthiest men in history, yet he never forgot the hunger of his early days. His steel empire powered America's industrial age, but his greater contribution was his vision of philanthropy. He built libraries, universities, and foundations that still serve millions today. His philosophy teaches that riches without purpose are empty, and power without compassion is corruption. Carnegie's mantra inspires a new generation to measure success not by accumulation, but by contribution. Meanwhile, Henry Ford's approach combined the pragmatism of a mechanic with the insight of a philosopher. His mantra, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success," revealed his belief in teamwork as the core of industrial progress. Ford revolutionized not only manufacturing, but the social contract between workers and employers. By paying his workers the unprecedented wage of $5 a day, he made them both producers and consumers of his products, a move that redefined modern capitalism. Ford's assembly line did more than build cars, it built the middle class. Yet his true genius lay in simplicity. He once said, "There is no man living who is not capable of doing more than he thinks he can do." That belief in human potential fueled his empire. The industrial titans of the 19th and early 20th century did not have digital tools or instant communication, yet they achieved global transformation through persistence, focus, and innovation. Their mantras teach us that wealth without work is hollow, and power without responsibility is dangerous. Rockefeller's precision, Carnegie's philanthropy, and Ford's innovation form the holy trinity of industrial wisdom: discipline, purpose, and faith in progress. They remind us that every generation must find its own balance between ambition and ethics. Their legacies endure not because of their fortunes, but because of their foresight. The modern world they built continues to evolve, but their mantras remain as relevant as ever, whispering through the ages. Greatness begins in the mind, grows through effort, and earns immortality through generosity. The rise of Asian and Middle Eastern billionaires has introduced a new wave of philosophies that blend traditional values with modern ambition. Figures like Jack Ma, Mukesh Ambani, and Aliko Dangote show that wealth in the 21st century is no longer limited to Western ideals. It is shaped by cultural resilience, humility, and the pursuit of collective progress. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, has long been guided by a mantra that encapsulates his journey: never give up. Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. Born in Hangzhou, China, to a poor family, Ma failed his university entrance exam twice, was rejected from dozens of jobs, including KFC, and struggled with self-doubt. Yet he turned his failures into fuel. When the internet arrived in China, he saw opportunity where others saw confusion. His belief in persistence became the cornerstone of his empire. Jack Ma's mantra is rooted in patience and optimism. He believes that success is not a single event, but a continuous effort to improve and to serve others. He often says, customers first, employees second, shareholders third, emphasizing that long-term wealth grows from trust, not transactions. His life demonstrates that leadership is not about control, but about inspiration, the ability to dream big and pull others toward that dream. Similarly, Mukesh Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Industries, carries a philosophy deeply influenced by his father, Dhirubhai Ambani, who started as a small trader. His mantra, "Growth has no limit at Reliance. I keep revising my vision. Only when you dream it, do you do it," reflects a relentless hunger for expansion and reinvention. Under his leadership, Reliance evolved from a textile company into a global powerhouse in energy, telecommunications, and retail. Ambani's approach blends discipline with daring. He believes that India's strength lies in its people, and that business should be a force for national transformation. His mantra echoes a spiritual undertone, one that sees wealth as a tool to uplift millions, not just an end in itself. His story teaches that ambition, when aligned with purpose, becomes a form of service. In Africa, Aliko Dangote, often called the Lion of Africa, follows a mantra that captures the essence of perseverance. In whatever you do, strive to be the best. Born into a modest family in Kano, Nigeria, Dangote began trading commodities like rice and sugar before building a vast manufacturing empire that now dominates the African continent. His journey is a lesson in self-reliance and vision. While many sought profits abroad, Dangote invested in his homeland, believing that Africa could produce what it consumed. His mantra of excellence transformed local industries and created thousands of jobs. Dangote's philosophy shows that true wealth is not about dominance, but development, lifting communities as you rise. Another influential figure, Masayoshi Son of Japan, founder of SoftBank, built his empire on the mantra, "Think big, but act quickly." Sun's investments in technology giants like Alibaba and ARM reflect his instinctive grasp of future trends. He believes that intuition, backed by data and courage, leads to breakthrough success. His philosophy combines the precision of Japanese discipline with the daring of Silicon Valley. Across these regions, one sees a shared truth. Cultural values, whether rooted in patience, family, or community, remain the invisible engines of success. These billionaires are proof that wealth creation can coexist with humility and heritage. Their mantras teach that money is not the destination, but the medium through which one fulfills a greater purpose. They remind the world that greatness knows no geography, that the richest people are not just those who accumulate wealth, but those who expand possibilities for their people and their nations. The world of technology has birthed a new breed of leaders, visionaries who blend intellect with purpose, minimalism with mastery. Among them, figures like Steve Jobs, Larry Page, and Tim Cook stand out not merely for their wealth, but for their philosophies that reshaped how humanity interacts with innovation itself. Steve Jobs, whose mantra, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," continues to echo across generations, believed that creativity is about connecting experiences. His minimalistic design philosophy wasn't just about aesthetics, it was about clarity of purpose. Jobs often said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower," reminding us that the true measure of success lies in originality. He approached life like an artist, not just an engineer. His relentless pursuit of perfection turned Apple products into symbols of human imagination. Yet behind his genius was a simple truth. Do what you love so deeply that failure feels irrelevant. Jobs taught that passion is the oxygen of excellence. He lived with an awareness of mortality that made him fearless. He once said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." His mantra was not about rebellion for its own sake. It was about daring to live authentically. Larry Page, co-founder of Google, shares a quieter but equally powerful philosophy. His mantra, "Always deliver more than expected," is rooted in abundance thinking, the idea that giving extra creates exponential returns. From a Stanford research project to one of the world's most valuable companies, Page's success rests on a relentless focus on problem solving. He believes that technology's purpose is not to replace people, but to empower them. His leadership shows that the best innovations come from curiosity and compassion. He once said, "If you're changing the world, you're working on important things. You're excited to get up in the morning." That excitement became Google's secret fuel. Larry Page's mantra reminds entrepreneurs that the pursuit of excellence is a lifelong habit, not a temporary hustle. His wealth is a byproduct of purpose pursued with patience. Then there's Tim Cook, Apple's current CEO, whose mantra, "Let your joy be in your journey, not in some distant goal," reveals the philosophy of grounded leadership. While Jobs embodied the visionary artist, Cook represents the disciplined architect. Taking over Apple after Jobs' passing was an impossible task, yet Cook led with humility, focus, and empathy. He proved that strength can be quiet, and that leadership doesn't always roar, it can whisper with integrity. Under his guidance, Apple became not just a tech company, but a global advocate for privacy, sustainability, and inclusion. Cook's mantra embodies balance, reminding us that success without peace is hollow. He once said, "You want to be the pebble in the pond that creates the ripple for change." That ripple for him is impact, not applause. These three men, different in style but united in purpose, show that innovation begins with intention. Their mantras teach us that technology, at its best, is an expression of human values, simplicity, empathy, and excellence. They remind us that wealth should never outgrow wisdom. In a world obsessed with disruption, they stand as proof that the most powerful revolutions are internal. The courage to think differently, the patience to build deliberately, and the humility to serve humanity through one's craft. The richest innovators are not those who create gadgets, but those who create meaning. Their mantras light a path for future dreamers to build not just products, but possibilities, not just companies, but cultures, not just fortunes, but legacies that outlive their time. Every day, 2 videos about historical events that have happened in different countries of the world are uploaded to this channel. To know the new history of tomorrow, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video or history you just heard, give it a like. Do you want to know about history? Thank you.